now he's going back to where it all began with the Portland Trailblazers and signed a 3-year, $42 million contract with the player option and drum roll, please, no trade clause.
Yeah.
So obviously with Damian Lillard, he's going to be known for not ducking the grind, but he's gonna be as well not going to be because records are meant to be broken. So right now he's currently Portland's all-time leading scorer in points and three-pointers made. But this gives him time to be closer to his family, take that whole year to rehab and kind of come back and see what he can do with this roster. So some notable players on the roster: Shaden Sharp, Scoot Henderson, Chris Murray, Denny, Jeremy Grant, and obviously the draft picks they picked up this past season as well too. But boy, full circle moment. Kind of bittersweet, but what are your thoughts on him going going back to Portland, man?
I think it's interesting. They also still have Drew Holiday on the Trailblazers right now. But I've been seeing a lot of people talking about how he's going to fit with the young players, and I think the thing to remember is he's not going to play next year. So this is more for like 2 years from now. And I think the landscape is going to be really different. So that'll be more interesting. I think right now this was just to like, okay, you're our franchise player, best player in franchise history to be real in terms of longevity. I know Bill Walton won there, but he was only good. He was only healthy for like a couple of years. Um, so I think it's again one of those good stories. You know, I think at this point he's going to be the veteran in the locker room, bring mentorship, especially for Scoot Henderson, who they hope is their point guard of the future, who he hasn't been amazing these first 2 years, but he also last year he was much improved. So like he wasn't
Mm,
bad. Um, and I think people forget sometimes it can take a couple of years for some point guards to like really
that's true.
long. So yeah, I think this is, one of those veteran mentorship things, doing right by him because I don't think anybody else was going to pay him that much money or give him a 3-year deal when you know he's not going to play the first year of it and give him a no trade. All those things are just like we just want you here. We're just giving you the respect that you deserve, and we're not just gonna trade you away for whatever assets or some cash considerations or something if you're bad in the last year of this deal. So. Yeah, I mean, I like it. I like it a lot. Like I said, it'll be interesting to see what the fit is when he actually comes back and when he plays. I feel like he's probably going to be a six man, especially honestly at that. He's 35 right now, so he might be like 36 or 37 by the next time he steps foot on the court for real. So yeah, I like the optics of it, and it just gives him, I feel like, for this season, gives them a feel good story,
Hmm.
better
Nah,
vibe, hopefully,
you
in the locker room.
nah, you're right. Kind of just makes me think. I mean, they say about hindsight, but it makes you think like should he have just stayed and just went through the hardships like how kind of Kobe did back in the day or Dirk did just for a little bit or what Devin Booker's doing right now and just rebuild, or would you have still done the same situation where it's just like I'm not quite sure the direction we're kind of headed in right now, and I am feeling a little bit pressured. I am a little bit older. I'm at the end of my prime. I want to win now. You know what I'm saying? And then I think this is also going to kind of make me think where the league's going to go forward with like these top players. Like, are we going to continue to see ring chasing, or you think he's going to set like another precedent for this new era where it's just like it's not necessarily all always about the ring?
I don't think this sets any different precedent because if he hadn't tore his Achilles, I doubt this would have happened. I think
True.
it's very cause and effect. Like he tore his Achilles, they cut him, and then he joined the other team. Like if he hadn't tore his Achilles, he'd still be on the Bucks right now, and they're not going to trade him back to the Trailblazers for no reason.
Hmm.
So I don't think this changes anything. This was direct correlation, but I also think that I honestly think this is probably the best outcome for the Portland Trailblazers because
Mm.
they were able to you basically traded Dame for a bunch of stuff and then got Dame back for free. You know? Like I think that was definitely the best thing for all of them because he did want to go. I mean, they weren't going to be close to doing anything in his time there. At least he can say, like, I tried, I gave it the opportunity, and then something catastrophic happened and it led me to come back here. But I think he knows. at this point as well, I'm not going to be the player that I once was when I come back from this anyway. So winning a ring in a diminished state might be cool, but it's like we don't really like Jason
Facts.
Kidd. That ring that he won in Dallas doesn't hold the same weight as it would have if he had won it while he was really in his prime. Same with some of these other guys. So it's like, yeah, I could have got one of those when I'm averaging like 10 points a game, but like, what does that really mean? So I think he made the right decision, go at least give it a try. I think we also forget, like, not you, but the media forgets how heavy everyone was on his ass about like you need to get out of there. You're not trying to win, but yada yada yada. Like we don't care about you being loyal. So like he said, okay, I'll give into that and I'll go try. And so now we can't take that away from him, like and honestly, the 2 years in Milwaukee went about as awful as they could have in terms of just they literally never got a chance to even try in the playoffs. Like the
And they didn't
first
even
year, I
fit.
want to say
They
Giannis
didn't
was
even
out.
coexist together either, too. Like
Yeah,
they didn't
like
run any pick and rolls, nothing.
first year Giannis was out, and then this last year he had blood clots going into the playoffs
I
and
forgot.
barely ever actually got himself together and then tore his Achilles.
Hmm.
So they never got a chance to even really see what it could be like in the playoffs. But he tried, and that's you can't take that away from him. And I think it
Hmm.
works out that like now I get to go back to Portland, and they were able to build because of trading me away. Like if he had still stayed on this team, they wouldn't be as good. They wouldn't have any of these young assets. Like that's kind of just like the facts of it. So
Shit, they might have a lottery pick next year too, right? They didn't trade away their draft pick. I don't think.
I
I
think
think they got the
so.
draft pick for next year. I don't really foresee them being good. And the reason why I didn't bring up Drew Holiday, I just assume he might get bought out or get traded. So,
I think they
shit.
want to keep him for
Oh,
the defensive. I mean, at this point too, he already won 2 rings.
facts.
I think he's probably cool being another veteran mentor. That's what people sleep on is I don't think they're going to be a playoff team at all. But I think they're going to be better than they were last year because after the All-Star break, I want to say they had like the fourth or fifth best defense in the league for the whole rest of the season. So like defensively, I think that's the mentality they're trying to build and the identity they want to have. So having someone like Drew Holiday on the team really fits that.
Yeah. Damn. Guess he gonna embrace it because I remember when he got traded 2 seasons ago from Milwaukee to Portland. He was like, I do not want to be here. So
But that was before he won another ring.
before, yeah, you're right. You're right. Before he won another ring. So things kind of change. So yeah, that should be interesting because he was also talking about like retiring in Milwaukee and shit like that too. But yeah, things just change, like you said. So hopefully Dame gets nursed back. Like I said, he is older with that Achilles, so it's gonna be kind of tough. Maybe he's gonna be another outlier like some, but you know, he already has a Hall of Fame resume at the end of the day, and like we said, it seems like he's happy. First and foremost, the city that raised him, and he raised his family there and has his family that's over there too. So, shout out to you, Damian Lillard.